I did a thing. Yeah, so, the front of the Stingray here is a little bit bare of metal. I realized I built the whole thing out of light armor, partially because it's cheaper and easier. But if the whole design premise of this is to do like a full frontal assault with a bunch of cannons going, it makes sense that the front of the thing should be heavy armor. Basically, there's a giant shield, pretty much the shape and size of the ship. That is the profile being fired upon. So if I focus all my armor up here, I'm,
Energy low.
invincible. Definitely. So yeah, I went through and basically removed all the existing armor and put it in. The repair welders that are in place did a little bit of welding. So the first step I need to do is get this front bit welded, ready to go, and then well, there's a signal. That's pretty far away. Maybe we don't go straight after the Factorum. Maybe we, wait and see if a pirate thing shows up. Or just head off on a little shakedown cruise and, jump somewhere and see if a pirate's there. I kind of want something easy to start with, just to see how it works. But for the moment, I should have some steel and a bit. Oh, and some more. Don't know how far this will go, but get as much of this stuff built as I can. Hopefully I don't have to spend too much time waiting for parts. And that's what I was afraid of. My ratio. What is the ratio? Well, it's going to be different for each of these. Maybe the ratio isn't different, but because I'm doing all these weird block shapes, it's really hard to calculate how many metal grids versus plates I need. And it's kind of an annoyance. It's nice that the heavy armor blocks get welded even if they don't have any grids in them. I don't know, I almost wish there were like a welded but not like welded not enforced look, something that was just a clear visual indicator, because it's so hard to tell what blocks need metal grids. It's one of the annoyances with actually welding these things. And I suppose as I'm blowing up the welder, apparently, okay, I'm losing credibility. I was going to say that, even though this is kind of an annoyance, I don't think it alone is justification for me at least, for things like, the build and repair mod or nanites mods or any of those things. Which, if you enjoy playing with those, that sounded condescending. I really don't mean it to be. Enjoy the game as you enjoy the game. But for me, I feel like those mods almost take too much away from the challenge. Because there is, this is a bit of an annoyance. But part of it's because I've not really designed a great system for it. I could build a better welding system if I wanted to take the time. I could build like a welding wall and blueprint this thing and print it. And that would, be more efficient. That sort of stuff I feel like goes away if you're using mods that just do it for you. Now that said, if you're, if you're doing something that is more heavily focused on not the design and engineering of things, maybe there's justification, but I can already see the comments because there's a bunch of welding going on. And I want that cleared up. Even though this is annoying and I'm complaining about it, I feel like this challenge is part of the games I don't want to get rid of. Actually, to the end of making this less tedious, I think I just had an idea. I don't know how well it'll work, but let's go ahead and I'm gonna dump all the steel out of here. I'm just going to put metal grids in. That's not metal grids. Anyway, I'm just gonna put metal grids in. Hopefully this has like a partial build state, because then if I'm only putting one material in at a time, I know what material I've put in, so that should make it easier. And if... Dang. So there's no build state associated with it. But if I get metal grids in all of these, then at the very least, I just have to waggle over it with steel and the build states make sense to know what's been completed. Alright. Well, that took forever, but it honestly wasn't quite so bad once I, did one set of parts then the other set of parts. It was mainly just a lot of waiting for steel plate production. Because that's one thing you forget about. So these take metal grids, of course. They also take like double the steel plate. And yeah, everything should be built. I think the last steps I can do from inside. So we'll head up to our bridge. I probably should have ammunition. That would be good. Let's queue up 100 of those. Right, I have assault cannon turrets, right? Yeah. So all the guns are armed currently. Guess I could look up, Okay, I don't need to produce more of those. I have a couple on hand. I do have some assault cannon shells. I may produce... Yeah, let's do... I don't know how quickly these go, but the difference is each one of these Gatling boxes has like, I forget how many, but it has a number of bullets in it per box. Each of these, it's just one shell. So maybe we'll do even more. Put all the ammo we can. Oh, into the wrong one apparently. I think that's the, oh no, that's the cargo access that's up in the galley, which may or may not have been seen on screen, but I figured it was convenient to have up some cargo up there for building, and I figured I might as well have, you know, cargo on multiple decks. Alright. Well. Oh. Hold on. That's a Factorum signal on Earth. No. No, it's not. I missed the K in kilometers. That is a Factorum signal very far away on the opposite side of Earth. Though, is it? Hold on. I'm getting distances confused. No, I think that is close. I don't think I have any GPSs still on the surface. No, and any GPSs I had would have been probably in a different spot. I have an idea on how to test if that yeah, we'll do it in this. An idea on how to test if that signal is indeed on the surface of Earth, because if it is, that's very interesting. I didn't realize there were surface things, so if it's down there, I may have to use the dropship, which maybe isn't good, because the dropship is not very well suited to getting shot. Anyway. We're armed up. I'm gonna do this manually. It'll be easier to set up things once I'm disconnected. Alright. The moment of truth. We are unmooring. Switching lock. Retracting connector piston. And all doors. Oh, almost all doors. What are these called? Oh, right. I've already renamed them to airlock. Probably should have airlock door, but you get the idea. Airlocks closed. All onboard doors closed. We are pressurizing. All right. Maiden voyage of the Stingray. Shoving up. Okay, that's a good sign. That's pretty good mobility for just one large thruster. Not very high power draw. Okay, let's try forward boost. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Okay, 3-direction, let's get... Actually, let's roll so that I can do this in a way that's ergonomically convenient. And so the top of our ship's in the sun. Alright. Time for 3 directions of thrust at the same time. So there's forward, sideways, lift. We're about 60% power draw. Moving like nobody's business. I'm not sure where that smoke is coming from, but I'm sure that's fine. Yeah, we can actually get up to a pretty good speed. Roll is sluggish, but serviceable. Okay. This is a good sign, people. The stingray flies. Alright. So now for my plan. From here, it's hard to tell if that is on the surface, either on this side of the Earth or the other side, or if that unidentified signal is past Earth on the opposite side of it. If I remembered, the size of things, this wouldn't be as difficult, but I don't remember it. So, we're going to go ahead. We're going to set up our jump drive. So I think I want increase. Actually, I'll reverse those. Decrease and increase distance and jump. What is our jump range? So, we can go just a little over 2,000 kilometers on a full jump, which is pretty good. I think the baby beluga could do 2,000 because it was small enough that there's a sort of maximum range for one jump drive based on if you just have like a jump drive and a battery, it can go 2,000 kilometers as a maximum, and depending on your ship's mass, that changes. So with 2 jump drives plus all the mass of this ship, we are about the same range, but we should have a lot more power generation, which was the big issue with the Baby B. So I'm going to set that for 50% just to, keep some reserve. I guess I could turn off one jump drive and keep it in reserve, but we'll do this for now. Because I also want to see what happens when I have to fully recharge the suckers. Let me just, hold on, double check. Yeah, we're fully uranium. I was pretty sure, because they've been piped up and running for a while. But it's good to check before you jet away from your home. Alright, so 1,000 kilometer blind jump off to one side of Earth. This should tell us where that signal is. Ooh. And there's a pirate to fight. Okay, so the drives seem to be going somewhat erratically, but yeah, we'll say 30% is our sort of maximum jump. So that plus 3 directions of thrust will probably, in fact, it's not doing its thing. It looks like we have enough juice. It also looks like that unidentified signal is in Earth's orbit, but on the other side in space. But I think that's too much of a first test. So let's give this pirate vulture a go. So we want to be able to, actually that can be over here. Toggle on or off our repair systems, that's important. Then I want target cycling for both of these. And I think, yeah, we'll target weapons, maybe for both. That way it'll disable whatever I'm fighting, but hopefully leave the, sweet goodies that it has intact. Now, Oh, I didn't stock up on steel plate on board for turret repair. That was maybe a mistake. Hopefully that won't be necessary. Last thing to check. So I don't think I've done this yet on this series, but I have in the past. Having a AI defensive controller on board your ship, even if your ship is not, you know, a drone, it's handy to have a defense controller, because when these things are on, they will automatically search for enemies and target lock them. If you're not familiar with target locking, essentially that sort of designates a target and it increases the range of any turrets. So by default, this assault cannon turret, I think they can shoot for a lot further distance, but they'll only target up to a maximum of 800 meters. That's the same with all turrets. So, if you want to fire more than that, which I can see somewhere, hold on. So the maximum range of this gun is 1400 meters. So it's pretty much by default limited to half its range, but with a defense controller, it can target an enemy grid and fire at that full range. And I forget what the locking distance is, but it's further out, I think. So last thing to do is go outside and get a blueprint, because even if this is successful, it may be messy. There's some quirks to it. I'm still not 100% sold on the ribbing, and it is a pretty slick ship. And I think this is the type of ship, if it does well, if it can really hold its own in combat, I think it'll be one of those that I really fall in love with. I should probably rename it though. Also, I wasn't sure about having the cockpit laid out like this with the sort of consoles in front. I do like it. Not sure why. We seem to be struggling to pressurize. Hopefully we aren't out of air. I probably could have done a better job of stocking this thing before this. But, yeah, that's the point of a shakedown cruise, is figuring out what you did wrong, and what I did wrong was the logistics. Oh, there's also a pirate station out here. I should name the turrets. Nah, I don't wanna take the extra time. I'd like to be able to control one of these so that I could, you know, spy ahead of myself. Because I don't have a camera on board. Go ahead and I'll set a very short jump just for an emergency. Yeah, 26 kilometers is good. So if things get really hairy, I can always jump out. But I'm hoping, I don't know what a pirate vulture is, but I mean, it doesn't sound, vultures are scavengers, that's not super formidable. Not like the pirate hawk, peregrine falcon. Anyway, hopefully this will be a good test, see what works, what doesn't, and maybe get me a little bit of extra loot. And have a bunch of fun explosions, because let's be real. I built a battleship. I want to blow some stuff up, just to, you know, just to have fun. I want to feel superior for a minute. So our oxygen tank is full. I wonder if this grid is just slightly too big for the air tightness to understand, and that's why that vent is constantly whooshing air out. Guess it's also possible that... Well, no, because the cockpit's sealed, so there's no airlock door open, sucking air out as it blows in. Ooh, that hidden pirate station is pretty close to here. I may end up... I don't know if they send drones at me. This may be a double feature. Okay, let's decelerate. I may go up and rename that top turret. Just so I can easily find it. Looks like we'll stop well clear of threats. The point defense Gatling should protect me against any little drones that come knocking. So, control our turret. Let's zoom in and see what we can see here. Okay. I mean, it's a respectable sized ship, but... it's hard to tell. I definitely see some Gatling turrets on there. There might be some bigger guns. Let's see. Yep, there's that station. Hello, hiding pirate station. It doesn't look... I think from past knowledge, those things have some interior turrets and Gatlings. They may have missile launchers too. I can't remember. Let's go after this guy first. Alright. We'll roll to be in the sun. Let's see. Guns are set to target weapons. Just a quick... Yep, they should all be set to target large and small ships. We should be good. Oh, okay, there is a drone there. Can't manually lock them yet. They may... The defense controller may lock within 2 kilometers. Our guns... No, my guns aren't turning to fire yet. Oh, now they are! Oh, mama! That's pretty good. Ooh, yeah. Okay, it is moving at me, which I don't love. It's attacking me with debris. Ow. Okay. Well, I kind of knew that the, welders weren't going to do very well. That's not a great showing, but it looks like the thing's de-armed. Did a pretty good job. I'm not going to, let's not approach too close. It is stationary now. Let's hop over and see what, spoils of war we've earned. And it's probably the biggest danger this thing's gonna face isn't so much bullets, but it's enemy ships that have been disarmed careening at it. I sort of had to thrust up to make sure that this thing, if it didn't stop, I needed to make sure that it wouldn't ram. Yeah, I'd say we did a pretty good job. Seems pretty defenseless. We've got some hydrogen on board. We've got a door. Let's have this just in case there are any interior guns. Doesn't look it. I'm just gonna disable this. Some of these... So this may be... I thought this was a separate drone entity, but that may have been essentially how this ship would signal drones to come aid it. See if there's any cargo on board so I can dump this stuff. So what is... okay. Ah. Well, I've cored the bridge. That doesn't help.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Looks
Inventory
safe
full.
there. Okay. Well, yeah, there's... not seeing much. Oh, that's a cargo container.
Inventory full.
There we go. And I can claim this as salvage. Don't know where that remote is. Should probably take it out just in case. Yeah, I guess I take this back with me. Strip it of useful parts. I don't know where this remote would be hidden. So I'd suspect somewhere along the upper bit here, or maybe in there, but that's an armor block. Unless it's off-center. Doesn't look like it. That's an armor block. Oh, that's heavy. That might be it. Yeah. We'll lose that antenna. Yep, there it is. Alright. I don't really have a good way of, doing much with this. Don't really have a landing gear. Well, actually, I do have landing gear, they're just all internal. Maybe... let's go and get some metal off this thing. Just do a little extension out the back here. Have a temporary block there. And then... actually... I'll do this. Take control of this antenna. I should be able to rebuild the remote wherever it lived down here. I can rebuild this remote and fly this thing remotely. That should let me dock it without too much trouble. Even though it doesn't have a cockpit anymore. Because I need some way at the very least to turn off the dampeners when I get it docked. So... yep. Okay, that didn't sound good. I also... ooh, I can't see... I can't do third person. Like, oh nope, I can, but it doesn't help me if I do third person like this. Alright, we'll just go about it. I should, if I just nose the antenna there in, I should be able to get it to lock down. Very gently. Open up a ton of perspective. In fact, it's so dark I can't even see the antenna now. Oh. Alright, we're on. That's secure. The silly part is it's totally secure as any other block. Yes, so long as actually it's probably better than just steel because the antenna is going to survive. Let's go ahead and dump some of the bits we have on us in the system. I could get some steel to go ahead and repair the front end. Especially considering it's smoking up the cockpit. But yeah, we've got ourselves a little prize. We will go ahead, set the space base as our jump target. We should be ready to rock. Let's do it. Alright, now that we are back, I am going to go ahead. Just need to hop over to the... Actually, I should be in range to do this remotely. I want to make sure that any guns on board the Baby Beluga are off. And now they are. Just because I don't own the ship, I can't remember what they're set to target, but if they're on default, they would just start shooting at me the moment I got into range, and that could be disastrous. Go ahead and, because this thing is no longer being built, I think it's earned the right to no longer be inside the gantry. I will have to go out and manually extend my... Actually, hold on. I did name the pistons. Let's go ahead. We'll have our piston controls and our connector controls on here. So we got the port and starboard deal. Checking all my orientations to know what the heck I'm looking at. This is, I mean, this ship, I'd have to compare the masses, but I have a funny feeling this ship alone is the same mass as the entire station. Alright. We are docked. Oh boy. Well, that was thrilling. Maybe it wasn't actually all that thrilling, but there were some good exploding moments. I think the whole, heavy broadside from the front worked pretty well. This ship was pretty much eviscerated instantly. It got a few shots off on my front turret, or it hit something. But yeah, I'd say that worked pretty well. So I guess I'll probably grind down my spoils in between episodes. Next episode, I think we get this thing properly outfitted, properly equipped, properly armed, and ready to repair itself. And then we go after the Factorum. So yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching. Join us next week as we engage in battle. Hopefully don't get this ship completely destroyed. It's probably not going to fare quite so well, but yeah, there'll at least be a lot of big explosions. So until then, bye bye.